They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves. Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already.
Monsieur? Yes?
Hello.
Hmm?
Oh well.
Malfash's blessings. And our room's looking for you. It's not good. We'll open up the room for you. And please, no shady business. We walk the righteous path in here and don't want any trouble. May your path
She
always be even.
That's just how they are.
Me, Stu, rope.
My sir, move along.
Watch yourself. The streets aren't safe this time of the day.
Greetings.
In the shackles of lust, presented by
Obvious, my son. Please. Lord, will we?
Yes? Have you been to the island? A sunken shrine? So you are saying whatever power lived in that temple made Rukus and the others... Oh, my Marvus. It is all my fault. I failed. If I had been there for him more, if I would have prayed more often, he would have never lost his power. I just know it. Here, take this key. It opens up a shelf in the bank. The things in there, they were meant for Rukus, for when he comes back. Now, please go. I need some space.
In the shackles of lust, presented by the poets.
Walk blessed.
Right. The highly debated new keeper. You suddenly have caused some uproar. I'll give you that. So, robes, mail, or plate? Fine, here you go. And no matter what you think of all this, wearing this armor is an honor. Get that into your head. Most of us had to wait decades for it. Sure, you'll have to pay normally though. As much as the Grandmaster favors you, metal and work don't come for free. Walk blessed.
Ahoy.
Now look at that. You are the prophet, aren't you? The prodigy. Delighted to make your acquaintance. I am Taurius Flameling, apothecarius by my path. My companion and I work together with the Arcanists here, and we investigate the Red Madness. How may I help you? Finn and Carbos, of course. Who doesn't know them? An odd duo and completely inseparable. Why do you ask? What? How? How do you know that? I'm Malphus, that's... One tragic event after another. Now listen. This question might seem peculiar, but is there any chance you found amulets on them? The emblems of the apothecari. It's a ritual. Whenever one of our members passes away, their amulet will be put in Soldran's halls, as remembrance, so to speak. They are silver, with a violet jewel. Have you found them? Yes, that's them. Thank you. We owe it to them. Here, you've earned this. I'll send a pigeon with the news to the League as soon as possible. Aside from the obvious, not much, unfortunately. The most important thing to know is that it's extremely hard to determine if someone is infected with it. Afflicted people show their open madness quite late, and at that point, it's usually too late already. Walk blessed. With all due respect to your thirst for knowledge, I am not a magister, and I've got my hands full. In a nutshell, we are healers, and our path is to cure ailments with magic and alchemy. Our monastery is far to the north, in the Frostcliff Mountains. However, you won't be able to reach it at the moment due to the heavy snowfall. And in case that doesn't sate your appetite, there are a couple of books about us in the library, or maybe even the Chronicum. Well, then you've come to the right place. Walk blessed. There must be a solution to this.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this? Yes, it makes sense.
Of course they have. You know how these bureaucrats are. But they
You're the
will
one
do
they call
it.
the prophet, aren't you?
Very good. Thanks for
Congratulations
your
on
efforts,
passing
my
the
friend.
trial.
Don't mention it. I just hope you know what you're doing. You know, many see the course the Order has taken since you came back as disquieting. Narazul's mages in the temple? An outlander as a keeper? It's a lot to take in.
I know, Jorik, but someone has to deal with the threat. And if we don't, no one will.
Yes, I suppose you're right.
That's beyond me.
Prophet, did you find your way around? Good. It is important that you get adjusted to this place. It will be the base of all operations to come. Right now, we are still in the dark as to the true nature of this cycle. All we have are fragments, but we will change that. There are 2 trails we have found. I want you to go after both of them. The first one has to do with the stone fragments from Old Rashengrad. Pegast has not yet told you, but all of them together form a so-called sigil stone, which we urgently need. The Arcanists have already put it together, but we still lack a part of the ritual to activate it. And for that, we need the memory of a dead person. The second trail revolves around a discovery we made in the Heartland. It could be a significant, if not the only prospect we have in this fight. Where do you want to start? It's simple. I've told you that the Pyreans knew about the cycle, and that they too battled it before they vanished. The sigil stone was a magical defense they created to protect themselves from the Red Madness.
Pathlessness, wherever you look.
Through small fragments that segregate once a certain ritual is performed on it. Wear one of these fragments and it will serve you like a shield for your spirit. The stone won't produce enough for all citizens of Ark, but enough for all of us keepers and the guard. The problem is that we lack knowledge about this ritual, and those who have it have been dead for millennia. Correct. The entire plan revolves around a discovery which is exhibited in the Chronicum. The frozen corpse of a Pyrean, which a fisherman found adrift in the Northern Sea some years ago. Yes, the ice prevented his body from decaying. But go to the Chronicum and speak to Archmagister Maragil. He will be able to explain it better than I can.
Prophet?
You. I heard you passed the trial without going to the novitiate. Congratulations, I guess. The Grand Master must think highly of you.
So what's so spectacular about this? To me, our pal here looks like your average crypt corpse.
Well, he isn't. Do you see this marking on his forehead? That's a symbol of the Ashian, one of the two priest castes who reigned over the Pyrean Empire like the Lightborn did over Vin. He was no high priest, but more than an acolyte. Let's just hope he participated in the manufacture of the sigil stone back in the Pyrean era.
Well, hoping can't hurt. But look, we have company.
Dalvarek, Archmagister, how's the situation?
Walk blessed, Grandmaster. We're fine. Everything is ready. So this is him?
Yes. This is the Prophet.
Interesting. Truly interesting. I imagined you to be different. I'm Lexiel Marigil, Archmagister of the Holy Order. Pleased to make your acquaintance. So, where do we start? Has the Grandmaster already informed you of the goal of this mission? Correct. Now you're wondering how will this be possible? This is where the Word of the Dead comes into play. An old relic we'll need to find.
The Word of the Dead? I thought that was a legend.
No, it exists. And we also know where. Just so you understand, the Word of the Dead is an artifact that allows entering a deceased person's mind to relive his last memories as if they were your own.
And you want to do just that with our frozen pal here. This is the grand plan, right?
Right. You'll need to locate the Word of the Dead, teleport the Pyrean's body to you, and then enter his thoughts. And there you'll have to look for the words of the ritual. Well, we only lack the last words of this ritual. What you have to look for is an ornamental scroll, which looks just like the one on the drawing I'll give you in a moment. All you have to do is remember the glyphs in the scroll, then write them down once you're back in the waking world. That's right, but the priest himself did, and according to the legend, this should allow you to understand. You're telling me. I myself feel like a myriad in a toad's pond. But alternatively, we'd have to excavate every ruin on Vin and hope that some priest left one of the scrolls behind. True, but we're talking about a different form of magic. It works similarly to the forbidden school of entropy. Well, this is...
There's an old manor in Enderal's west that belongs to an old collector of artifacts. We received a tip that the Word of the Dead is in his possession.
Hang on. Are you talking about this odd fellow with the puppets? The aged man from the folk song?
I am. You won't take it. It will be enough to find it. Use it on the Pyrean, and then leave. You will travel to the manor with Dalvarek, wait for nightfall, and then introduce yourself to the aged man as a fellow collector of artifacts. Then you will offer him this brooch, and if all goes well, he will offer you a quarter for the night to negotiate in the morning. Then it's all a matter of timing. Sneak out of your room, look for the Word of the Dead, and teleport the Pyrean to you. Then you'll flee. There must be no violence, no matter what happens. A good question, but no. The aged man is special, so to speak. Even the Lightborn ordered us to let him live in peace. The Black Guardian knows why. So, if we have to trick him, we will at least do it inconspicuously, which is why you and the mercenary are well suited for the task. No one will connect your faces to the Holy Order. Archmagister?
Yes? Well, that is a good point. We don't know, because we don't even know what the artifact looks like. But, how goes the saying? The proof of the eating is in the pudding.
We'll manage somehow. And even if we don't, it definitely sounds like an adventure.
It's a great responsibility, be aware of that. But I have faith in both of you. Now get going as soon as you can. This mission will be fruitful. I can feel it.
And there they go. Yep, just meet me at the Myritz Tower at the Western Cliff. I'll go grab my stuff now. Huh? Huh?
Oh, hey. Ha! Impressive weapon you carry there.
Walk west.
Yes? Monsieur? Yes? Yes? Yes?
Greetings.
Monsieur?
Sure. Where to?
Ah, there you are. Ready to go? Yeah, I did. Why do you ask? That's a good question. I suppose in the end, it was just a hunch I had. Plus, all these civil wars in other countries didn't exactly invite one to stay. Well, I guess that depends on where you're standing. Of course, times can be tough, especially if you come to a new city or even country where you know nobody. But if you're good at what you do, which I am, there's always work, everywhere. And yeah, I don't eat God's tongue for breakfast, but it was always enough for a roof over my head when I wanted, and some other earthly pleasures. That's what life's all about, isn't it? Now, aren't you inquisitive? Let me think. I spent most of my time abroad in Kira, and also a couple of years on the Isles of Kile. And there was this mission that led me to Maiar Aranath once. What am I, a traveling tome? I'm afraid I'm not a very good storyteller. But Kira's great. The people there are so much freer in their way of thinking.
So little time.
There are the great bazaars, the palaces of the merchant lords, and the fortress of the mages' circles. But you just have to see it for yourself someday. Oof. Different. As beautiful as the Isles are, there's always this feeling of rush and competition. Have you ever heard of the game penny? On Kile, it's not a crime if a merchant tries to cheat a customer. It's the customer's fault if he doesn't see the fraud. But if he does, the merchant owes him a token penny. Bizarre, isn't it? But over there, it's common practice. Yeah, it is. I was there with a group of mercenaries. We were hired to get something from a tower in the old capital. Not a nice spot of earth, truly. There's this fog everywhere, and with every step you take, you have to be careful the swamps don't get the better of you. But of course, that's also what makes it exciting. What, you mean the living dead, the Watirs everywhere, the frenzied civilians? I'd say this country's seen better times. But at least something happens. It makes this place less boring. The scar. Well, let's put it this way. If you one day end up in a Tal Galean tavern and two 6-foot-tall Arazalian women invite you into their room, you should either damn well know who they are or make a run for it. Never heard of it? It's the capital of Araziel. At least if you ask the civilized people. Hands up. Guilty. Some rich snob had hired me back then to bring him a totem from one of the camps of the Free People. That is, the Arazelians who worship their ancestors' gods, instead of the Lightborn, and live as nomads. No idea how much you know about Araziel, but the Free People have been in conflict with the civilized people, who do worship the Lightborn for centuries now. Assassinations, blood feuds, and so on. The usual, if two sides both believe they know it all better. Anyway, obviously this job of mine originated from that feud. The totem belonged to a free tribe, and the snob wanted it in order to publicly defile it. So I got it for him. Oh, why, of course. I still cried myself to sleep months after that. Seriously, why should I? Both the free and civilized are so eager to bash each other's heads in. It's not like one defiled totem more or less would have made any difference. Correct. And I was a little drunk and a little lonely, if you get what I mean. Have you ever seen a pure-blooded Arazalian woman in her 20s? It's really hard to say no to that.
So much to
In any
do,
case,
so
as you already noticed, the whole thing went down differently than expected. My face made acquaintances with a table leg and 4 absolutely untender women's feet and hands. And of course the totem was gone, together with all my clothing and money. I guess I had that coming somehow. That's what happens if you ask your loins rather than your head in the wrong situations. Yeah. Oh, woe, such a cold world this is. I present you my deepest scars, you thank me with naught but mockery. Be damned, O impish creature! But anyway, how does the saying go? A truly beautiful face can never be tarnished. Facts remain facts. Wonderful. Here, this is the place where the aged man's manor is supposed to be. Lead on. I'll follow you.